What is your professional title?
Mr. Foreman, I'm a lawyer. I've also been a producer, a manager, and a creator.
So tell us about your professional beginnings and what led you to your field.
Actually, I think early on I had issues with authority. I always liked to argue. I always respected my mom, but I still had issues with authority. And I was pushing carts at a place called FedMart in San Diego. And the other fellow with me, Jim Van Deerlin, his dad was a congressman, and it was hot in San Diego. And he said, let's wear Bermudas. And I said, no, we'll get fired. He said, no, my dad knows Saul Price, who was the owner of FedMart at the time. So we showed up the next day with Bermudas. They came out, took us into Mr. Price's office, and he said, you both have violated the dress code, so you're fired. And Jim Van Deerlin said, Mr. Price, you should call my dad. And Mr. Price said, I did. He said to fire you. And I looked at him and I said, that's power, because his eye would kind of flip. He just handled it so professionally. I went out and said, well, who is this guy? He's so powerful. Well, he's a businessman and a lawyer. So I said, I want to be a businessman and a lawyer like him. That's the first thing I remember.
What was the big break that led you to your field?
Big break is representing George Foreman, who won the heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah, but it all started somewhere else.
It did.
The big break.
I started representing some pretty famous people, and one of whom was Billie Jean King. And this was during the Title IX era. And I became an advocate for women's rights. And then I tried a lawsuit that was depicted in her movie. They called it the Gallimony suit at the time. And she was sued by Marilyn Barnett, and we prevailed in the case. So that was sort of put me on the map.
Henry, your most personal achievement that truly stabilized you and led you to this profession?
Well, I feel that raising my son Ben, my family, my wife Lori, and really having the curiosity to learn a lot of things that I never had the opportunity to, when I was young. And you and I, Mr. Foreman, have talked about that curiosity, history and archaeology, and you with your horses and me with my octopods and sharks.
Now, what is your personal inspirations? Your personal inspirations that you've had in life?
My mother, I was very close to my mom. She came as a first generation. She was 6 years old. She came from Italy, and she just instilled me with respect and caring for other people and to work hard. And I always remember she had pictures and articles about Dr. King on the wall. And I'm not really, when I was a kid, I wasn't sure why.
Yeah.
But she always was telling us you must respect everybody. And you, George, we've been through a lot together. You're the godfather of my son, and you're doing a good job. And Earl Warren, who was Chief Justice of the Supreme Court when I went through law school, who changed the world. He was appointed by Dwight Eisenhower. and he became the most liberal Chief Justice. Jesse Chopra, a professor at Berkeley Law School, who was really inspirational and tough, the best professor I ever had. And a fellow by the name of Bryce Morris III. Medgar Evers, who was a leading civil rights activist, and I think one of the founders of the NAACP, a great man whose life was taken at a young age. Also, my brother John Holmes, who is the light of our lives. One more inspiration of my life, he was a classmate, Guy Saperstein. We still keep in touch, and he is a hero to me. He fought for women's rights, civil rights, and was always there at a time when our country needed a push from somebody who was bright and energetic. I remember when you married me and Lori in Tokyo, and the night before the wedding, you called me up to your room, and my first fear was there was a problem because you were fighting. You said, "Henry, sit down. I want to talk to you about the meaning of marriage." And my response was, "George, I've been married several times before," and you said, "I'm not asking you to sit down, I'm telling you to sit down." And I went, okay. And I've been married 22 years.
What legacy would you like to leave behind?
I want to leave a legacy for my son, that he lives in a healthy world, and that global warming is a big threat to that, and I want to get involved and accomplish some things to get the world back on track. And another important legacy I would like to leave is getting involved in the Innocence Project and working to free people who've been wrongly convicted and wrongfully imprisoned and have had their lives wrongfully taken from them.
If you were given one word to summarize your whole life, what would it be?
Exciting. Exciting because I've worked in several different areas, and I've combined, which I think now is it's evolving, of doing entertainment and sports, because I always consider sports as being part of entertainment. So there's a whole new breed of lawyers who go out and they basically do both. And that was exciting. Living life, diving on shipwrecks, going to your boxing matches, going to Ben's football, all of that is exciting.
If there was one piece of business advice that you would give to a young person about to start off in life, what would it be?
Take every opportunity. Look at every possibility in terms of being an opportunity.
Henry, how would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as a good father, a good family man, good husband, good lawyer, and a good adventurer.
Good adventurer.